Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. In today's game, we should look to the war up front. The Packers are number one in rushing yards, going up against the Cardinals, who will need to be strong up front. With that, we'll send it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis. They've got the call in this Week 5 matchup.
The oldest continually operating stadium in the NFL as you get a look inside Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, we're in October now, so everybody should be coming into form, shouldn't they?
They really should, and what you have now is a full routine established about what you want to get done and full focus on the season.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by their 6'4" quarterback. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Now a handoff, Johnson. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the run there. It'll be 2nd and 13. Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. Shift together here from the D-line. Back to throw here. And some room to work. Room to run inside the 40. That one goes for 36 yards. Red zone opportunity. First down carry here for Johnson. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down, but following a pretty juke move that gives him the 1st down. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which have to keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
They'll drop to throw. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jermaine Gresham, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Now, this is a crew. They've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their highly decorated quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, I'm not taking a turn to negative town, even though it's going to sound like it. The 2 interceptions he threw last week, those obviously have to be eliminated, and that was the focus of practice this week. But let's face it, he did throw 3 touchdown passes.
And they got the win.
So I think it was a good week for him to work on things. Had some positives, the win being first and foremost. Now he's just got to eliminate those interceptions.
The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. There was no answer for him defensively. Over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns to boot.
And that was a fun film to watch because a few of those runs, it was apparent he was just not going to be denied. And his team is hoping that carries over to this week as well.
And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
On play action, Rodgers. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got him the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And, you know, they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
And he will forge his way forward only up to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll get this only up to about the 3-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
We often talk of situational football. Let's just call it team football. The defense did their job, got off the field, brought the punting situation, so they're turning the ball back over to their offense. You think those guys will get along very well right now? Of course they will. Defense up the offense. Now it's their turn to take it downfield.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Pressure comes, and the Cardinals bring him down. Robert Kimdichie. in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Now, that's a pretty play right there, and what I'm thankful for is it wasn't me in that situation, because one of the toughest things about defending the deep ball is not panicking, because the longer you run with a receiver, you're trying to figure out, am I close to him? Can I make a play on the football? Will I be there when the ball actually arrives, what we call the moment of truth? And in this case, the defender did not panic, stayed right with it, and batted it away.
Rodgers now on first down. And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Rodgers again here on 2nd and 10. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Partner, I know that ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done.
And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football and complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
Now this is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general.
And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. They give to Johnson going right. Not much room to run. Just gets it to the 35 after showcasing his tough running. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. And it's a fumble, and the Packers pick it up. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on first down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
Now a play fake. Rodgers letting one go deep for the end. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Kelvin Benjamin, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle 3rd of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. It's good, and we're all tied at 7 apiece. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he loses the football a second time. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession. Even the greats in this game, and he certainly qualifies as one of them, they're going to have trouble if they continue to throw into double coverage.
He better be careful. Throwing in too much double coverage might have a couple of them picked off. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Kenny Clark coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, their kicker came to the rescue and made sure they got something out of that drive after all.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
They'll start things on first with Torrey Cohen. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. Last week, of course, the great performance, over 200 yards. He still wants to be fed.
And they should. That's exactly what you should do. I have not yet met a running back that's run for over 200 yards that says the very next week, hey, let's back things up.
Trying to get it to Adams, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. And a great spot to start this drive from here. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now Johnson, and he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now back to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So 3 points is the outcome, but probably not what they're looking for given the drive that they were on.
Yeah, things were looking good. You had it 1st and goal, but then the offense sputters a bit, and they're forced to settle for a field goal.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? 23 yards on the play. Throwing on 1st down is Rodgers. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Cohen. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Gets it to Benjamin. It's caught. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Give him 22 on that one. And it'll be a Green Bay 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, You really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
Count me as a little bit surprised by what we just saw there, because this has been a pretty long drive, and normally you think that wears down a defense. In this case, looked like the offensive line let him down a little bit.
They allowed the penetration and the ability to stuff him for a loss. He sets up the screen to Jones, and he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second, it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
Rodgers now to throw, and they're going to try the screen. It's complete. The decision to go for it pays off, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Well, the field goal attempt was well in hand. They had that, but they decided to go for it anyway. Extreme confidence, it looks like.
Yeah, but I bet the defense is going to remember this one, right? They kind of rub their nose in it. Rodgers going to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers have drawn even here with the extra point to come. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of the... elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
They go to Johnson again. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense, because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack and making those plays. Might have to think about some misdirection or something to try and get him away from the ball.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Fielded just inside the 30. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing, because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Cohen. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
If they're going to get a first down out of this, they're going to have to earn it because there's been tough going in the interior there. And here we are on 3rd and 1. Be prepared. Brace yourself. There'll be some contact going on.
And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This will be a critical call.
It's a pickup of 3 that time, and the Packers are going to have a first down.
Yeah, on 4th and inches, you've got to be quick with your decision-making when you're running football. You've got to find the hole and go. And he does a nice job here picking up the first down.
Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Packers. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Vinatieri out there to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And, oh, my goodness, he loses it again. But I think a Cardinal was able to gain possession, yes, so they will hold on to the ball. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll pay a visit to Larry Ridley in Orlando with our EA Sports halftime report. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll set up to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. It's Clay Matthews with a pick. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So this is Cohen. And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
On second down, here's Rodgers. Benjamin with it over the middle. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Rodgers escaping the pressure right, and he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up fourth down.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was third and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
Throwing is Rodgers. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. 13 yards on the pickup. And they're able to pick up the conversion here on fourth down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive lineman would...
And he lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, we'll see if I can get through this without being skipped as we welcome you to our EA Sports halftime report. The Packers are happy to be sitting in the locker room with the lead. The Cardinals just want to come out after the half and claw their way back into the game. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. First and 10, the quick pass and completion is made, and he ends up at the 49-yard line before he stopped on the play. Cardinals still on the field. Quick pass and completion to Gresham, and he capped off the long drive with a touchdown. The Cardinals up by a touchdown. Following the forced fumble, the long ball will find its mark here, and that is a house call, as that'll tie the score at 7-all. Midway through the second quarter, here we get a quick pass and completion, and he capped off the long drive with the TD. They go up by 1. Now first and 10, handoff and run goes up the middle, and he'll go for the score. The lead now at 8.
All right, Larry, these two teams back out there as we get set and ready for this second half. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 6. Shifts by him. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Now they'll run it with Cohen. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I'll bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. They find some open field here. The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A 1st down, a 16-yard gain.
Now I have to admit, partner, that I've often thought that I don't like this rule, where the offensive player fumbles the ball, it goes out of bounds, and they get to keep it.
That's just because you're a defensive guy. That's why you don't like it.
Yeah, you're right. It is a slanted view, isn't it?
But this is where, for the offensive team, the sideline is their friend. Usually it's not their friend.
Yeah, exactly right. I actually played for a guy in college. You know what he used to name the sideline? Sammy. Sammy sideline, and use him well. This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The left side completion to Jones. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Packers add on to their lead. Always important to get the first score of the 2nd half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the 2nd half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. A call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. We don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Looking to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Curry. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Taking it about the 16. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, they held him to a short gain on that one, and it almost felt like on that first run, they were trying to just throw the jab at him. So how do you stop a jab? Get closer and smother it, just as they did on that last play.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. They got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets them a new set of downs.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Now a first down carry by Jones. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And he goes out of bounds. It looks like right at the 50. 9 good yards there on the run, and now third down.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
Throw left side complete. It's Cohen. And he's out of bounds as he gets this down to the 45. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
To throw, it's Rodgers. And this one is incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
The Cardinal offense here ready to take over. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, if something like that, there'll be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
They'll look to throw here. Throwing right, and that's complete. He got 29 yards that time. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting to run. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he's going to be taken down, but not before reaching the 15-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask.
Defense.
So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he is not going to get through here on try number 1. They stop him at the goal line. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about...
And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Cardinals get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them. 3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
This is Jones. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
How many times do we say in this game is speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways. In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifting, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. The Packers on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Rodgers with a give. It's Aaron Jones. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Yeah, let me puff out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. That's to his running back, complete. And he's not even going to come close. A big loss in the wrong direction on 4th down. And I am not sure, partner, there what the mindset was to go for it. I don't know.
And some teams just feel that possession is the key to everything. They just want to have the football in their hands. No matter how it goes to the other team, they just don't trust doing that. So they say, listen, go for it and try and finish it ourselves. Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his 2nd drop of the game. Over the middle, complete. That's Curry. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Cardinals on third down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. He'll drop to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And he's got Gresham. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 10 yards on the pickup. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. He'll look to throw. And Gresham's got it over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on 1st down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. Back to throw. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And put a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the 1st down there, but as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance to win. When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Daniels in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
False start, offense.
Justin Pugh, the left guard that time with a flag. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. Now back to throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Give him 14 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the 1st down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Bailey able to knock it through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so you needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal then maybe not exactly what they wanted, but it's a necessary first step.
Still plenty of time remaining, but you could really use a stop defensively after the kickoff, preferably a 3-and-out.
Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And right now, probably just one thing in his mind, it's getting back to the hot start because he's really faded.
And ordinarily when that happens, the quarterback, as you know, is usually the leader of the squad. Now there's probably a silent camaraderie that comes around him saying, hey, guess what? We got you. Don't worry about it. Let's go, big fella. Because they know more times than not, he tends to pick things up, and they tend to play well.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
I like like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on 2nd down.
Hey, 50. Get reset. Hey, easy.
On play action. Now Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On now is the Packers punter. He's been terrific so far. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. This will be fielded at the 17. Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point kicker. Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Green 39.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he finds a man on the crossing route. That one goes for 24 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, Frank, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run it until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Jermaine Gresham with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And now the Cardinals are within a 2-point conversion of tying up this game.
So they got the touchdown they needed to cut this to 2, but now they've got to get back to the huddle. No celebration time. Got to figure out what they're going to do on the 2-point conversion.
So now what do you do as it comes back to the 7?
I think you stick with your strategy. You've already told your team you're going for 2. You dial up a different play. The only saving grace, a bit more room to operate if you're deciding to throw the ball especially.
They'll look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. And the failure to convert and tie the game. Now the pressure shifts back to the defense.
But I think it was the right play. I think it was the right call to try and tie the game there. Kick an extra point, you're still down 1. What's the sense? I like what they did.
Now the return. Here comes Randall Cobb. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball.